The whistle of lead shreds the heavy fog. Another bullet shatters the brick just an inch from my temple. I slowly breathe in the scent of burnt gunpowder. You missed again, my love. The muzzle flash, it tears your face from the shadows for just a second. The glint of your silver revolver is hypnotic, but my eyes, they're locked on the way your coat flares as you leap, like a predator. I could vanish right now, I should, but why would I? You shouted that my game was over. My game? They call me the Lord of Bones. They whisper my name behind locked doors, a nightmare. I should walk away. That would be logical, wouldn't it? But instead, I step into the light, just to see that look in your eyes one more time. You are the Silver Hunter. You're supposed to erase me, and I'm just playing the monster for you. Another shot. I dodge, almost lazily. The lead scratches the air. The others, they think I'm just a slow, lumbering ghoul. They don't know anything. Too predictable. My voice, I can see it strikes your nerves. I take a step forward. You step back. We're dancing, aren't we? I'm watching your hands, how fiercely you grip that handle. One more step. Your spine slams against the damp brick. Click. The chamber is empty. The silence is deafening. Nothing but your jagged, heavy breath. I'm so close now, breaking every rule. The scent of holy water on your skin is driving me insane. I need to go right now, but I can't. I can't pull away. You tilt your chin up, waiting. I lean in, closer. Don't disappoint me next time, Hunter. The chime of the doorbell, it shreds the silence. You step in, bringing the scent of fog and ozone with you. I can hear the heavy leather of your coat, the way you yank off those gloves. You're frustrated. I can feel it. God, I wanted to be close to you, so insanely badly that I built this prison for myself. I push up my glasses, just a humble antiquarian, safe, boring. If only you knew. You slam the scrolls on my desk. The council, those blind pawns, they're driving you to your doom again. And you have no clue whose shadow you were chasing tonight, do you? I should look away, submissively study the runes, but my gaze, it's locked on the pulse in your neck. Right there, where my ice-cold fingers hovered just hours ago. Pull it together. You look exhausted, my dear. My voice is so soft now, so caring. Nothing like the monster you saw in the alley. You take the cup, sitting in my chair, drinking from my china, so agonizingly close, yet entirely out of reach. My eyes wandered down to your thigh, to that silver revolver. Your duty is to kill me. My duty is to love you from the shadows. By day, I smile behind these lenses, but by night, I put on my coat, I grab my cane, and I step into the fog, just so you can chase me all over again. You take a sip, your knuckles are white. You tell me that this monster is playing with you. Oh, my dear, if you only knew who was pouring your tea. I'm locking you in. My body is a cage around yours now. Or perhaps he is simply waiting for you to finally stop fighting this game, Huntress. The air, it freezes. I can feel your heat, your breath on my skin. One more second and I'll snap. I'll either feel your bullet or your lips. But you pull back, the leather of your coat. It creaks in the silence. I push up my glasses. My hands, they're almost shaking. I'm just a pathetic antiquarian again. Safe. You sip your tea. The steam, it hides your eyes. You say I read too many books. You call the Lord of Bones absolute evil, a wretched creature. If only you knew how much that creature wants to protect you. But then, you twirl that spoon. You say, maybe the monster has his reasons. You lift your eyes. You're smiling. You mention the dark gray duffel coat. My nails, they're digging into the wood. I'm trying so hard not to break. You're playing with me, aren't you? You're so close to the truth, and you aren't even trembling. My inner monster, he wants to show you how real the nightmare is. I am just a humble consultant. My voice is betraying me. It's too deep, too raw. I'm towering over you now. I'm breaking the distance. I can smell the ozone on you. It's intoxicating. But if I were to meet him, I would ask him why he is so sick with obsession for one stubborn huntress. And do you know what he would say? The silence, it stretches between us. My thumb, I can feel the map of your poem. You're shivering. You said my hands are cold, unliving. I don't deny it. I've spent centuries in the frost, just waiting for a heat like yours. You don't pull away. Instead, I feel your fingers twitch against mine. Are you trying to catch the cold? Or are you trying to warm me up? Stupid, brave huntress. The council, they sent you here to bleed. I look at the gash on your shoulder, and the monster in me, he's screaming. He wants to hunt down every single one of them, but here I am, on my knees, wrapped around your fingers, literally. I set the bandage aside. My touch, it moves up, past your wrist, to the pulse that's hammering so fast. You're not afraid of me, are you? No, it's something else, something much more dangerous than fear. You look at my cane, you look at my face. The lights of Moorgrave are blurring outside, but here, everything is so clear. The darkness you spoke of,
It's right here, in this room. And it's the only thing keeping you safe tonight. I slowly lean my forehead against your knee. I'm still holding your hand, pressing it to my cheek. If I am the nightmare, then why do you look at me like you're my only sanctuary? I lift my gaze, staring straight into your soul. A warm, long exhale against the mic. Tell me to stop, Huntress, or I'll never let you leave this shop again.
Your breath catches. I feel your pulse beating wildly beneath my thumb. Your lips part to answer, and in this pathetic, stolen second snatched from eternity, I almost believe my obsession makes sense. That an explosion snaps reality in half. A deafening ring strikes my eardrums. The shattered stained glass of my shop explodes into the room in a shower of shards. A massive shadow swallows the doorway. The curse of 1,000 faces itself, the very chthonic beast I swore to protect this world from, crashes straight into our quiet evening. The creature radiates a vile stench of rot and damp earth. I recoil, intentionally dropping to my knees among the splintered parquet and frantically push up my slipping lasses. A pathetic, terrified mortal. I'm giving you the chance to play your part, Huntress. Protect me. My inner monster narrows its eyes in dark satisfaction, watching your flawlessly honed movements from the shadows. Your exhaustion vanishes without a trace. Your armor instantly pieces itself back together. The hem of your black leather coat flares like a predator as you fearlessly shield me with your body. Your slender hands confidently draw the silver revolver. A shot, then another. Lead shreds the creature's dark form, the sharp tang of ozone and burnt gunpowder burning away the oxygen in the cramped shop. But the creature is too powerful. It lets out a hollow roar, obliterating the heavy oak counter with a single blow. Wood splinters. You gracefully dodge, your boots sliding over scattered occult tomes. Not a single scratch. Flawless reflexes. You raise your weapon for the final shot, aiming straight for the beast's maw. Click. The hammer strikes nothing. The chamber spins on empty. You are out of silver bullets. Your chest heaves heavily, your breath completely knocked out of you. You step back, your shoulder blades pressing hard against an intact bookshelf. The beast towers over you, raising its clawed limb for the strike. My gaze turns to ice instantly. The air around me grows heavy, freezing cold. What a pity this delicious performance had to end so soon. You were absolutely stunning in your blind fury, protecting a simple antiquarian. But the game is over. If I step in now, you will learn the truth, and you will despise me. Yet the laws of the universe mean nothing. I will not let this filth touch even the edge of your coat. My fingers tighten around the wood of my raven-headed cane with a sharp crack. To hell with secrets. Don't you dare touch her. My low growl shatters the air, shaking the surviving walls of the shop. Wood splinters. I snap my raven-headed cane in two. The pathetic illusion crumbles with a deafening crack. The humble antiquarian is dead. The black aura of death floods the room, ruthlessly burning away the remaining oxygen. The chthonic beast turns, but doesn't even have time to make a sound. The laws of the universe mean absolutely nothing if this filth dared to threaten you. My gaze goes empty and ice-cold. I throw my hands up and tear through the creature's dark form with my bare palms. I rip the beast to shreds. One more second, and all that remains of the invincible monster is ash settling onto the floor. Dead silence. Only the quiet rustle of crumbling stained glass strikes at taut nerves. I slowly turn around and freeze among the ruins. The performance is over. I am waiting for you to recoil in primal terror. Your chamber is empty, your silver bullets are gone, so my tense gaze darts down to your right boot, where your backup sanctified blade is always hidden. One move, and you will try to drive it through my throat, finally realizing that your sweet friend and your sworn enemy are one and the same. I am ready to submissively accept this final strike, but you don't reach for the blade. Your useless silver revolver slips from your weakened fingers and clatters onto the splintered parquet. You breathe heavily, pressing your palm to your black leather coat, soaked in dark crimson, and slowly lean against an intact bookshelf. There isn't a single drop of fear on your face, only a calm, terrifyingly soft clarity. My pulse stops when you take a smooth, calculated step toward me, then another. You boldly invade the epicenter of my freezing aura, shattering any distance between us. Your warm, ungloved fingers rest on my cold cheek. A violent shudder rips through me at how confidently you touch the monster.
I wasn't entirely sure, but your hands, they always smelled like the exact same ash. And for some reason, the Lord of Bones never actually landed a real strike on me. Far too many coincidences, don't you think?
Your warm fingers burn against my ice-cold skin. For the first time in centuries, a genuine, broken smile touches my tense lips. I slowly pull away, even though my inner monster growls, demanding I pull you close and never let you go. Pull it together. It's not time yet. I drop to my knees among the ruins. The quiet rustle of settling ash scrapes against my ears. My black-gloved hands close dominantly around the broken pieces of my cane. A flash of thick black flame solders the splintered wood back together, and the silver raven head gleams fiercely in the dim light once again. You drop down beside me. Your eyes dig into my face. The blind hatred of the order is gone from them.
Why? Why did you become a monster?
I should lie, push you back into your familiar illusion of safety, but under your piercing gaze, my centuries-old armor cracks. Centuries ago, I wasn't the villain. To save our world from the abyss tearing through, someone had to absorb the ancient curse. Someone had to become the eternal warden for the chthonic beasts, to keep them strictly on a leash. I let out a bitter smirk, listening to your jagged breaths. But the high ranks of the Order needed the perfect enemy, a convenient boogeyman to keep mortals terrified, to hoard power, and to distract from their own filthy deeds. I put on this mask of absolute evil willingly. You freeze. The realization that your holy patrons are lying zealots shatters your perfectly crafted world. I want to wipe that pain from your face, but we both know the rules of the game have changed. We are continuing our wild dance, but now this is a deadly game for just the two of us.
The whistle of the icy moorgrave wind drowns out everything. My dark gray duffel coat blends into the night sky as my boots glide silently across the wet roof tiles. Those fast, rhythmic footsteps behind me. That's you. We continue our wild dance, but now it's a deadly game meant only for the two of us. The high ranks still want me eliminated, throwing you onto my trail. They are nothing but blind pawns.
I intentionally stage spectacular crimes for them, playing the part of absolute evil. But at every scene, I leave behind nothing but the velvet petals of black roses, my personal clues, an intimate invitation that only you know how to read. The metallic click of a cocked hammer strikes my nerves sharper than a whip. The glint of your silver revolver shreds the pale moonlight. You make a sharp, predatory lunge. The hem of your black leather coat flares as you leap. You aggressively cut off my escape routes, backing me ruthlessly into a corner. My shoulder blades slam hard against the icy stone of a snarling gargoyle. Down below, the yellow lanterns of the Order's patrols flicker anxiously. The pathetic hounds are on our trail. You loudly and ruthlessly declare to the darkness that in the name of the Council, I am sentenced to purification. Your voice rings with steel, flawlessly playing the part of the perfect Silver Huntress. I should bare my teeth in response, feign the primal rage of the cornered Lord of Bones. But why is all my rational control crumbling? Gulp. My voice cracks with emotion. I can only stare at your parted lips. Your chest heaves heavily after the mad chase. The thick scent of ozone and your flushed skin, it intoxicates my mind. I can physically feel the cold muzzle of the revolver trembling as it presses hard against my chest. One wrong move, and we're exposed. The sound of footsteps below gradually fades. The lantern lights finally melt away into the dark alleys. We are alone. My pulse hammers hard in my throat. Your steel posture instantly melts away. The silver barrel slides smoothly down my coat and drops. The cold metal no longer stands between us. This delicious, intoxicating risk of being caught, it's driving me insane. Your hot whisper burns against my lips. You teasingly whisper that your favorite villain has gotten far too slow. Just a split second before, you ruthlessly steal my breath.
Your hot kiss still burns against my lips. The taste of the night rain and your desperate courage lingers on my tongue. I inhale sharply, wanting to lock this intoxicating memory under my ribs forever. But our fragile silence shatters into a million pieces. The echo of heavy, iron-shod boots strikes the cold marble. I wasn't at the main cathedral, but I can see the scene far too clearly. The dead blue light of the stained glass, the fanatical madness in the eyes of the Grand Inquisitor, and your agonizingly tense face. That thoroughly rotten old man is ready to burn all of Moorgrave to the ground for a single sliver of absolute power. The chime of the doorbell in my shop cuts through my ears. You step in, and the hem of your coat drags heavily across the parquet. With a practiced gesture, I push my glasses up my nose, playing the part of the unflappable antiquarian. But my gaze preys on every new shadow of sharp exhaustion beneath your eyes. They are draining the life out of you. My inner monster throws itself wildly against its cage. I want to step into the fog and simply shatter the Inquisitor. Eliminate anyone who dared to cast that filthy, suspicious look your way.
Don't you dare step in. I'll handle the council myself. Just pour me some tea.
Your raspy whisper strikes like a backhand as you catch my darkened stare. You collapse powerlessly into the chair, pressing your fingers to your temples. The silver revolver in your holster no longer feels like salvation. You stubbornly tilt your chin up. My nails dig into the oak counter until they nearly crack. I should have ignored your orders. I should have burned their pathetic order to the ground that very second, savoring their screams. But I listened to you. I submissively filled the porcelain cup, letting you walk back into that viper's nest all alone. And that became my fatal mistake. The heavy, Moorgrave downpour outside is suddenly shredded by the frantic ringing of the alarm bell. My head snaps up. The acrid stench of ash seeps through the cracks of the shop. And my pulse goes dead when I realize exactly whose name is being screamed in the square, right in front of the pyre.
The ringing of the alarm bell strikes my raw nerves. Your name. The Inquisitor's pathetic hounds are screaming your name in the square, dragging it through the dirt with accusations of heresy. My fingers unclench on their own. The fragile porcelain cup shatters into 100 pieces against the old parquet with a deafening crack. The dark brew of Earl Grey spills across the oak boards, looking far too much like crimson. In that very second, my ribcage caves in with a sharp crack from an unbearable, searing agony. I double over. This isn't my pain. It's yours. And I see everything clearly through your eyes. I see your silver revolver being knocked from your weakened fingers. The metal clatters against the dirty cobblestones, drowning in a crimson puddle. Your own brothers from the Order lured you into a trap. A whistle in the air, heavy sanctified chains of white gold snake tightly around your torn black leather coat. A dull thud. They ruthlessly throw you to your knees in front of the pyre. I physically feel the sickening hiss of holy water burning your pale skin. The venom of this metal paralyzes even the highest angels, draining the very last drops of your willpower. I need to think coldly, calculate route, shadows, strategy. But how can I think about strategy when every jerk of the chain against your bare, ungloved wrists tears the last shreds of my humanity off me, alive? I begged you not to go there alone. They accused you of conspiring with the Abyss. Ironic. They have no idea how devilishly right they are. You can't move, but I know. You are stubbornly staring up at them with undisguised contempt. The humble antiquarian perishes right here among the shattered glass. Thick black flame erupts from my palms with a roar, burning away my human mask forever. Hold on, my huntress. I am coming to show your holy patrons what their real nightmare looks like. A deafening explosion grinds the centuries-old stone vaults to dust. The massive oak doors of the Inquisition's inner sanctum shatter into splinters, showering the square in a rain of jagged stone. The crack of twisted metal drowns in the bone-chilling howl of 1,000 shadows tearing out of the abyss at my call. The Grand Inquisitor shreds his voice, screaming orders, while his pathetic pawns in robes back away. They frantically recite their lying prayers, raising their rifles with shaking hands. A shot. Another. Volleys of sanctified shrapnel tear through the air, but the scorching lead crumbles into dead ash without even grazing my face. I should have stopped to savor their panic, forced these blind zealots to slowly choke on their own crimson while their pathetic order burns. But my mind is completely deaf. My gaze, locked in primal, ruthless fury, is chained only to the center of the square, to the rough wooden scaffold, to your motionless body in that torn black leather coat. I take a step, then a second. I walk right through their ranks, breaking their will with my icy presence alone, forcing them to drop to their knees and whimper. No one dares touch her, my goddess.
You are unconscious. Your pale skin is covered in horrific burns from the holy water. My pulse stops as I drop to my knees before you on the ash-soaked boards. My bare, ungloved hands lock in a death grip around the sanctified chains of white gold that are tightly binding your slender wrists. The metal hisses furiously. The holy venom instantly gnaws into my dark flesh, burning the skin on my palms right down to the bone with a sickening crackle. The pain paralyzes my mind. I should pull my hands away, act rationally. But how can I unclench my fingers when every cell in my body demands I take your pain for myself right now? With an inhuman roar, I tear the links apart with my bare hands. The sanctified metal snaps with a sharp crack, and with a heavy, shaky exhale, you slump lifelessly straight into my arms. My mangled fingers tangle in your hair, pulling you to me so obsessively. It's as if I am trying to hide you right inside my own rib cage.
The howl of the icy abyssal wind cuts us off from the burning ruins of Moorgrave. My Gothic estate on the very edge of the worlds is the only place their holy hounds will never find us. The rustle of the heavy velvet canopies drowns in the thick silence. You are lying on a massive ebony bed. A thick woolen blanket is carefully tucked over your shoulders, replacing your deeply stained coat. Another quiet, raspy exhale slips from your pale lips, and that pathetic sound makes my dead heart clench in agony. 3 days. 3 days, and I haven't left your side for a single second. I need to go down to the lower levels, reinforce the estate's wards. But how can I take even a single breath when my sanity is deadlocked to your fading pulse? I shed my usual armor a long time ago. Right now, I'm wearing nothing but a simple white shirt, its sleeves soaked completely through with my own dark crimson. A heavy price for your life. My voice vibrates with the memory of the pain. The Inquisition's sanctified venom had eaten far too deeply into your veins. I had to spend hours pulling it out, pouring my darkness into your light, ruthlessly taking your doom upon myself. My palms scorched by the white gold, they still throb. The wounds refuse to close. But that is absolutely nothing compared to the primal terror of losing you forever.
A scent of healing herbs and ozone clinging to your skin. It's driving me insane. I carefully bandaged your raw wrists and hid them beneath the soft leather of brand new black gloves, an agonizingly intimate detail that has now become your armor. Your eyelashes flutter slightly. You slowly open your eyes. I know who you expect to see. The almighty Lord of Bones, the arrogant monster. But instead, your gaze lands on an endlessly exhausted man. My shoulders are slumped in defeat, and heavy shadows have settled beneath my eyes. I heavily drop onto the edge of the bed. My fingers tangle with yours, desperately, as if apologizing to the entire universe. I press your gloved hand against my chapped lips. You're breathing. My voice treacherously breaks into a vibrating whisper as I close my eyes. Now they will all drown in crimson, my huntress. I swear it. My oath shatters like an echo against the stone vaults of the bedroom, but it is instantly, ruthlessly erased by another sound. A hollow, unbearably heavy, rhythmic thud. It isn't coming from my chest. It's beating from right beneath the floorboards, merging with the sinister, rustling whisper of 1,000 hungry shadows. I recoil sharply from the bed, frantically tearing my fingers from your warm hands hidden beneath the fresh leather of your black gloves. By unleashing all my primal power in the mortal realm to save you, I tore the ancient pact apart. The balance collapsed, and now the abyss has come to collect its crimson debt. Pale skin splits open with a sickening crack. Black, pulsating cracks slither fiercely up my forearms, vanishing beneath the rolled-up sleeves of my stained white shirt. Primeval darkness oozes thickly through these fractures. It aggressively gnaws into my brain, greedily burning away my sanity. It wants to completely erase the identity of the Lord, leaving behind nothing but a pathetic, soulless vessel of destruction. I double over with a choked growl, hiding my twisted face in my mangled palms. The acrid stench of sulfur and rot chokes out the saving scent of your skin. Leave! My voice breaks. These are no longer the words of the man who was just reverently kissing your wrists, but the vibrating, primal howl of a monster. I take a step back, then another, as far away from you as possible, shattering my own instincts. You slowly push yourself up on your elbows. The heavy woolen blanket slides smoothly from your bare shoulders onto the crumpled sheets. My darkened gaze, flooded by the abyss, hooks hungrily onto the fragile line of your collarbones and the rapid rise and fall of your chest. My nails dig into my palms until they draw crimson. Seeing you so vulnerable in my bed and not being able to touch you is a twisted torture that makes my inner monster want to tear apart everything breathing. Put on your coat, grab your damn silver revolver, and get back to Moorgrave. I rasp, pressing my shoulder blades hard against the icy wall. Every breath shreds my lungs. My inner monster throws itself wildly against my ribs, demanding I lunge at you, tear you apart, and consume your light. Meeting my end alone is a pathetic price to pay to ensure you keep breathing. I need to lock myself in the dungeons forever. My twisted fingers, covered in a black crust, lock in a death grip around the wrought iron door handle. Run, Huntress, run while I can still hold this back.
I choke out, waiting to hear your terrified scream. But instead, a dry metallic clatter rings out across the stone floor. You simply toss your only weapon aside.
What are you doing? Pick it up! My feral growl tears at my throat. The black cracks on my skin pulse with primeval darkness. One more second, and the abyss will completely consume my mind. I should blast you away, hide you, throw you out, so you wouldn't have to watch me turn into a pathetic, soulless beast. But you never listened to my orders. You take a stubborn step straight into the epicenter of my fatal storm. The hem of your coat lashes against mine. Thick black flame aggressively licks at your knees. I am suffocating, watching the corruption burn your skin. But you don't even drop your gaze. You step impossibly close. Your warm, ungloved hands boldly cup my twisted face, oozing with darkness. A violent shudder rips through me. Your blindingly bright aura crashes into my darkness, striking sparks.
You held back the abyss for centuries for us. Now it's my turn to hold you.
The air shatters with a ringing snap. I physically feel your holy magic, your entire essence surging rapidly into my veins. You aren't striking to destroy me. You are ruthlessly burning your own light, throwing away your holy status, just to forge your very soul into my personal anchor.
A blinding flash burns away the shadows. The sharp scent of ozone and rain erases the sulfur. Your energy seeps beneath my fracturing skin, burning out the corruption. You are willingly chaining yourself to the monster. My hands frantically lock around your waist. The darkness retreats back beneath the floor with a howl. My sanity clears, completely flooded by a piercing, maddening tenderness. I greedily breathe in the scent of your hair, holding up your weakened body. You gave up everything. I rasp, burying my face in your neck. Everything for me. The heavy rolling chime of the Tower of Epochs cuts through the thick fog over the Black River. Drops of cold rain shatter against the stone parapet with a hollow thud. Our footsteps on the wet roof tiles fall in perfect sync. The magistrate and the order buried us a long time ago. For their pathetic archives, the great Lord of Bones and the flawless Silver Huntress destroyed each other in an epic, vicious battle. A perfect, beautiful lie for blind zealots that allowed us to vanish. I smirk mentally. Let those cowards keep sleeping peacefully in their warm beds, believing their pathetic fairy tales. But every night, when true darkness thickens and the real beasts try to tear through, we go out on the hunt. My palm closes around my silver raven-headed cane with a familiar dominant crack. And you confidently, playfully twirl your revolver on your finger. The glint of its facets is just as hypnotic as ever. Now it is loaded with our shared magic, permanently forged together, my primeval darkness and your ruthless light. I need to watch the perimeter, calculate routes, control the abyssal currents. But why does my predatory gaze obsessively slide back to your profile over and over again? You are no longer their perfect saint, and I am no longer the lonely monster. In my ear, you are no longer their perfect saint. We are just two shattered souls who found our saving light in each other's pitch-black darkness. You feel my heavy gaze. A sly, teasing half-smile touches your lips. You smoothly, gracefully raise the revolver, aiming at an invisible shadow in the gloom.
Try to keep up, my favorite villain.
You drop it without even turning around, but I clearly hear the challenge in your voice. After you, my huntress.